The advancement of the cryptographic cash region actually has provoked a surge of new monetary supporters entering the market, some strangely regardless. While numerous people have some familiarity with the fundamentals of exchanging tokens, not many have some familiarity with the more specific ability of blockchain and cryptographic types of cash. And that infers they are conceivably missing colossal entryways. Uniswap's unit is irrefutably a cryptographic cash that most monetary patrons should be aware of. Likes Binance Coin unit expects a huge part in its parent exchange, which is one of the best decentralized exchanges the crypto space. Unit has right away become one of the top cryptographic types of cash, regardless of having recently been conveyed in 2020. Truly, unit duplicated its worth inside just 2 days of its farewell, which undeniably pulled in a ton of thought from cryptographic cash monetary patrons. This positively makes it a nice choice to place assets into Uniswap. For the significant length ride in the going with Uniswap cost assumption, we'll explore what makes Uni so excellent and sort out what driving crypto analysts are expecting at its most likely expense advancement sooner rather than later. Uniswap, what's happening here? Any sensible individual would concur that a few computerized monetary standards are more clear than others. Particulars aside, it's basic for most monetary supporters to sort out the possibility of Bitcoin, specifically that it is a common modernized portion structure that, due to blockchain development, has no need of a central power similar to a bank. Regardless, a few cryptographic types of cash are to some degree all the more significant level by the way they work and require further explanation. One such advancement is Uniswap and its connected token unit, the Uniswap exchange. The Uniswap exchange is potentially of the greatest decentralized exchange DEX on earth and allows buyers and sellers to trade computerized monetary standards, a completely decentralized environment. In this sense, it contrasts from any similarity to Coinbase and Binance, which work in a way more like customary financial exchange stages. Most delegates or exchanges work by making deals among buyers and vendors known as solicitation book trading. Put forward doubtlessly in the event that you want to buy Bitcoin, for example, you ought to be compassed with a looking seller to offload their holding at a given sticker price. A drawback to this model is that if there are seasons of low market liquidity, an exchange could fight to fulfill its solicitations. Uniswap works surprisingly as a decentralized exchange. Uniswap network individuals are made up for denoting their crypto property to a liquidity pool. These pools make financial guidelines open to help business undertakings for this present circumstance trading, and clients who add to the pool are repaid with a part of trading charges made through that pool relating to the total they have contributed. Liquidity providers can leave the pool as and when they pick by polishing off their liquidity tokens, after which they get the essential liquidity notwithstanding any collected costs. Effectively, Uniswap was gotten up position grant cryptographic cash to hold its genuine explanation, that of being a completely decentralized strategy for portion. The speculation being that the huge exchanges, for instance Binance and Coinbase, have totaled a ton of power and effect and are subsequently acknowledged subject matter experts. Uniswap versus Binance, which is the better exchange? The unit token unit is the organization identification of the Uniswap exchange. Fundamentally, this suggests that unit holders save the honor to settle on how the stage is run, including charges, changes and enhancements. That is the very thing. The point is eventually the relationship behind Uniswap will be completely killed from its movement, and unit holders will go with all organization decisions. Unit can be traded on most exchanges a lot of like another cryptographic cash. As an endeavor potential, it should be truly clear that Unis success depends dominatingly upon the notoriety of the Uniswap exchange. Regardless, however, numerous people use coins and their parent networks. On the other hand, similar to Wavix or Permanent Lumens, it's essential to be aware of the capability between Uniswap the exchange and unit, the identification of that exchange. What to expect from Uniswap v3? Uniswap had a truly productive 2021. But things could be going to get substantially more entrancing for anyone who has chosen to place assets into UNI in April. The affiliation pronounced that it will ship off an upgraded variation of its establishment v3, which will at first be sent on Ethereum testnets, as demonstrated by Uniswap. The v3 update will integrate concentrated liquidity, giving liquidity providers significantly more control over what cost runs their capital is conveyed to individual positions can in like manner be added up to together into a single pool. Effectively, this grants LPs to secure essentially more market transparency without an overall extension in risk. The latest variation of the Uniswap DEX will moreover consolidate a various cost level structure that enables liquidity providers to get prizes corresponding to moving degrees of chance they are prepared to take on. An impressive parcel of the updates require a serious degree of particular comprehension to genuinely appreciate. But for those wanting to place assets into UNI adequately, it's to know that the new Uniswap show will additionally foster capability for those using the stage, which on a fundamental level will make it a more spot to exchange cryptographic cash later on. What's immediately Uniswap UNI worth assumptions for 2025 according to the Uniswap guess cost and estimates. In 2025, the Uniswap cost should cross a typical worth degree of 18. The base expense of UNI should be regarded at 12, and Uniswap can show up at a most outrageous worth degree of 24. It's safe to say that Uniswap has caused a couple of very colossal aggravations in its short presence. The UNI token has beaten various coins in respect of its extraordinary worth addition since its farewell, and the climbs to the Uniswap DEX could well push costs higher after a short time. In any case, the thing may be expressed about over the more long term. Incredibly, despite the approaching Uniswap update, Tradingbists has a reasonably curbed unit cost assumption for 2025. Uniswap costs should remain basically flat around the 18 mark for a lot of 2022 and 2023 going, before raising barely heading into January 2025, when UNI token worth expected to be around 2289. Regardless, the stage expects Uniswap UNI to stimulate toward the year's end, showing up at a logical high of 2786 by December. Digitalconpress has been more confident with its Uniswap cost estimate. According to its particular assessment, Uniswap UNI will reach 1821 close to the completion of 2022 and continue to climb reliably, peaking at 2013 in 2023. And subsequently 2609 in 2024. By 2025, the stage expects Uniswap UNI to have created by essentially 9321, showing up at a high of around 2732. Meanwhile, Wallet Investor has put out the boldest unit cost measure. It has the